What's up, everybody? Wanted to talk about, or just make a video talking about mindset. It's truly probably the reason I'm successful and you're not. And I don't even know where to even dive in on this. As a trader, as a brand new trader, you think the stock market is crazy. You don't understand it. There has to be some sort of rules. The psychology behind it. You as a human just don't understand that there is no rules at all. Like, it can go up and go down. You can determine how much you put in, how much you're willing to lose, make. All of this is just random and up to you, because you can go anywhere at any time and take any trade you want. It's not like a casino, where a casino is easier because you can go in. There is a start and stop to that bet. They're going to put those cards out. You have to put your money out before. They will take your money right after. There is almost nothing random about a casino. Even a slot machine. Slot machines aren't actually random. That would be AI. Doesn't exist yet. Every slot machine, that's how they know if it's a winning jackpot or not, because those numbers are already preset. The only thing random is you going in and spinning it. But that slot machine knows exactly who's getting paid and how much money it's going to take. You can get a printout of it. That would be the best investment for you to buy is a slot machine. But so neither here or there. It just seems crazy at first, and it's hard for people to fathom. So, and you have all these people selling a course, and they're just selling these rules and these systems. So you think that's how you do it, and it's really just, it's junk. It really is. I mean, how many ads have you seen? These guys are just pretty much just good salesmen. There's something called the rule of three or power of three, and your brain just likes that number, and it sounds good. It's another thing that kind of helps people buy it. How many ads have you seen with 3 simple steps, 3 this, 3 that, 3 words? That's just how it is, and it sounds good to you. Your brain, look it up. It's the power of 3, the rule of 3. People call it 2 different things, but it means the same thing. Your brain just likes that number. And whether they made that in the ad because it sounds good to them and they don't even realize it, or they're just master salesmen and they know it sounds good and they know it's going to intrigue you to buy it and sign up. Patterns are junk. Head and shoulders. How many times have I called out a head and shoulders? I've called out a couple times, and most time we laugh at it. We joke about that right shoulder. It's a pattern everybody knows. We talk about that, I guess, as you're looking at it, the right one just waving its arm goodbye. Most time patterns don't actually play out, but they're easy, and you think you need to know those, and it makes you feel good as a trader, and then it gives you something to blame. Most people can't take the fact that if they take a loss, it's their fault. That's why they like call outs. It's why they like somebody to blame. It's so much easier to blame somebody else or blame the pattern and not take it themselves. They're pushing it all away. They just aren't looking at themselves. It's the mindset is really what I'm talking about, which is why I'm probably way more successful than you are at trading, because it's my confidence. I've been doing it a while. The stock market, I understand, is going to do whatever it wants. I can't move it. And go with the flow is something experienced traders say. I don't know how many of them can explain it. And that's what they're doing. They get in a trade with the understanding it can go up or down, and there's no other way to say this. Shit happens. If you lose, you lose. That's what managing risk is for. That's why you manage your position size. And there's no one to blame. It just moves. You just look for the opportune times. What moves the market is the imbalance of buyers and sellers. I've said this many times. It's why I know all the patterns, but I don't use them. But if I see one popping up, I'll keep an eye on it. I'm looking at these charts from left to right, how a bank would look at it, how the general public would look at it, because as a community, all the retail traders are looking at the same stuff. Most of them have bought a course talking about a pattern or something. They don't know what they're doing, but they're all playing the same stuff. So everyone together playing the same thing can move the market. So I like to just keep an eye on it, but I'm not taking any of those trades, and nor am I teaching them. In my mentorship, yeah, I go over zones, or I chart them out for everybody, and I'm pretty good at it. And I've seen this so many times, and I know you guys have seen me do it. You watch me go live, I chart out a zone. A month later, it hadn't even been close, the stock comes right to it, gets in that zone, tags me in, I take the position, and it just shoots up. In the next video, I'm talking about how much money I made on it, or just how good it played out in a recap video, or I'm saying it in the chart. and it blows you guys away. And you guys keep asking me for these rules. How do you draw it? There are no rules to the stock market, and that's really just it. And when you can understand that and just base your trades off of that, you go in with a mindset knowing, I think this is going to go up because of this, but if it turns around, that was going to happen. If you have a chart pulled up right now, go to the daily time frame, pick out any red or green candle. It opened at one price, it closed at the next price. With or without you, that candle's going to look the exact same. Okay? All you're going to do as a trader is try to go with the flow. You're going to try to figure out which way it's going to go. Where do you think the market's going to go? Where are the buyers looking to buy? Where are the sellers going? Supply and demand is a big aspect of it. But the mindset behind it is the biggest thing. I always talk about the psychology behind trading, and you guys are losing and you're not figuring out why. You think it's because you don't know something. You just don't know. How many people got lucky in the beginning and just smashed it out? They went in, they didn't know what fear was yet. They went in, they bought something, and it shot up. Boom, this is easy. I just clicked a few times, and I made some money. They do it again. They're going in fearless. And yeah, they'll make a bad move, and they'll lose money. Luck runs out. You can't really trade on luck. But fear will be 99% of your problems. You will make most of your mistakes off of fear in general. So that's why the new trader can get lucky and really hit a streak in the beginning. It's just, he doesn't know it yet. It's a blind confidence, but he's there and he just jumps in because he's done it. The experienced traders, they jump in, they don't care. They have their risk management there in place if it goes against them. But if they lose, they're not looking for a reason. They're not scouring any more charts. They're not looking for a reason for why they lost. They just understand, didn't go my way. On to the next one. And I guess that's really it. That's what I wanted to try to instill. It's what I hope everyone takes away from my mentorship. They're going to watch me chart zones. I'm going to chart out. We're going to go over why. But and the ones that have been in there, they already know all my homework assignments. I post a blank chart, no tickers, no numbers on any side, just candles. And I work it from left to right. And why I would play each bump, why I think it might turn here. What the masses might be following, and again, that's another reason I like to know the patterns, but I don't care for them. And I call them junk. A Head and Shoulders. If you were a bank and Head and Shoulders was popping up, you got that first little spike, you got the big middle one, and that second one's about to play out, and you know everybody is about to short it. All the retail traders that don't know anything with poor risk management. You're sitting there as a bank thinking, watch this. I'm gonna make my whole day right now. I'm gonna lock it in before lunchtime. And the reason I'm successful is because I'm looking at all of that in that view, in everyone's view. Why is it going this way? Why is it going that way? Why is it likely to go that way? It's just probability at this point. And I'm taking the trades on that. And I have a confidence because I've been doing this for a while, and I don't care if I lose. I've been on an awesome winning streak. I took a small loss the other day, actually. I played on a trend line. It blew right through it, tagged me out. I got right back in a zone. And it was a better trade, but I didn't care. I didn't even worry about it. I just tagged out, and that was it. And that was literally it. And no one else. I don't want to say no one, but I just haven't seen anybody else really not care that much. They're looking for a reason why. They think if they learn more, they can do more, which isn't really the case. I mean, think of how many moves could be made. Think of how much insider information there really is. And you just don't know how the stock market is going to react to stuff. No one knows how the stock market is going to react. If you own a company, you know some bad news is coming. You don't know how the market's going to react to it because news can be taken so many different ways, and everyone could freak out. Some people could brush it off. But we're all looking at the same chart. No one actually knows anything, and trying to learn stuff, it's just kind of going down the wrong path. Your focus is on something else and not yourself. And the people that have been doing it for a while, people that have followed me and are starting to get better now, they're following my zones. They're picking up on it. It's supply and demand. Support and resistance is kind of the echo after. And I've explained that, and I probably will in another video when I break both of them down individually. But what they're doing is they're actually just developing this confidence, and they know that when they lose, they're not dwelling on it. And whether they know it or not, it's just something that's building up. It's not something you can just turn on a switch, and just start being a better trader. You can't make your mind think a different way. You can build into it, and you can learn it, and you can form it that way. So hopefully, I guess that's my end goal. I wanted to make a video talking about that. It is 100%, I believe, your mindset and how you do things, how you handle each trade is going to be it. Fear is going to be the biggest part, and there's no such thing as rules. Yeah, guys, do you know how much I would charge and how much no one would care if I had a set of rules? Here's steps 1 through 5, follow it. I would charge $50,000 for that, and no one would care. They would just save up and buy it. You could take a loan out and buy it. You could commit fraud, get a loan, and buy it, and you would just make all the money back, pay the bank back, say, oh, sorry, gave the wrong information, didn't mean to. And, that would just be it, and everyone would do it, and then the banks would just manipulate that. Like, there's no such thing as rules. There's no simple, easy steps to follow, like anyone might try to sell you. There is the general knowledge of the market, what it is, and there's just no, I gotta be careful when I say this, there's no rhyme or reason. You can find, I'm just gonna stick to it. It's the imbalance of buyers and sellers, and how people perceive the information that they're given. We're all looking at the same charts, but who's focused more on what someone else called out or a pattern that doesn't actually exist, and then when they lose, they're freaking out, they're panicking. There's no plans, no strategy, and it just goes all over the place. And I don't know. The faster you guys can understand that, the better. Start focusing the right direction so you can start moving in that direction as a trader. Everything in the stock market almost contradicts itself. Every trade is different. This is 100% the reason why I don't have a percentage goal for the day. I get asked that so much. What's your goal for every day? I don't have one. I don't care to have one. I just don't. That leads to forcing a trade. You're trying to plan stuff out that isn't there. I just wait for the trade to come to me. When it hits my zone, I buy it. I find these zones. I do it when the market's closed because I want a clear head. And that's where I'm going to buy right there. I think a lot of people are going to buy right there for whatever reason. And I take that trade. If it doesn't come to me, I'm not thinking, well, we're halfway there, I'll get in. The only time I do any halfway stuff is this morning. It doesn't matter. I was in a trade and it pushed up. It was a pretty big candle. We had a resistance. It was pre-market. Had the market been open, I would have just trailed it, but it hit a resistance, and since I can't use a stop loss, I decided to lock it in and ended up selling right back off. Other than that, I forget where I was even going on that. I just 100% lost my train of thought. Man, I really had something going. Maybe I'll have to make another video. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. It just, there's no rules. You can't put rules to it because it's changing every day. Every trade is unique. That's where I was going. Yeah, remember that. I don't have a percentage goal. I don't want to force anything. I wait for the trade to come to me, and I take it. I have my way of doing things. I have my system. Even though I 100% just said systems don't work, I have my system of doing things. And that's just how I do it. That's what works for me. It is not something I can write down in a list and sell anybody. It's not. Nothing would ever be that easy. And I have mentioned that before on so many of my streams. If it were that easy, the market is so accessible. I know people. I had one guy argue with me about stocks. He didn't need to learn anything because it's so easy a monkey can do it. I was like, kind of. He has a Robinhood account. He never traded anything. And he's the guy buying stuff. The news hits. He's watching news on TV, and he's making a trade off that. And if you've been trading for longer than 5 minutes, you know that move has already been made by the time you guys hear that news. So it's ridiculous how easy the market is, how accessible it is. And banks love that because they're there to take your money. The banks are in this market to make money. And there's a loser in every trade. How you can be successful: manage your risk, have a system, but don't set out and focus and buy a system. It's your mindset that is going to be where you succeed at. The successful traders, whether they can explain it or not, they have the confidence and they have their way of doing things. And if it fails, they don't worry about it because they know there's another trade to make. So I'm going to end it off here. let me know in the comments. Did that help you guys out? Is that going anywhere? Did that click? Did it turn any lights on for you guys? It's a mindset, and it's what you guys need to focus on. You can't turn it on overnight. This video won't turn it on overnight for you, but you should start to be able to head down the right path and work yourself towards that. So again, comment, let me know down below. Share if you know any other traders. I really do appreciate it. I would love to grow this channel, obviously a lot bigger than what it is right now. And I will see you guys in the next video.